everybody, it's Coach Chris. I am here with you and I have my foam roller. We're going to do a little bit of roll and release today, some foam rolling and a little bit of stretching. This is great for after a workout. It's also good for a recovery day. So we're going to start with the lower body. We're going to start with our glutes. What I want you to do is you're going to bring yourself up so you're sitting on your foam roller. All right, let me make sure I'm in the frame. All right, so you're going to sit on your foam roller, bring your feet out in front of you, hands behind. For these first couple, you're going to be holding yourself up in your hands a little bit, so if you need to take a little break, just sit yourself up. And you're just going to roll. Little tiny movements, going from just where your glutes meet your hamstrings, so just kind of in that cheek area, right up to the top of your glute. We're just going to do some smooth little rolls right here. You just need to spend a few seconds in each area. Now I'm going to have you stop. What I want you to do is take your right ankle, cross it over your left knee. All right? I like to put my hand on my ankle here. And we're just going to do a little bit more movement. You're going to start to turn to the side, maybe a tiny bit. We're still working the glute max. Then if you want to get into the glute med a little bit, kind of start to rock to the side just a little. You might find that you get a little bit off balance. If you find a place that is a little bit more sore than the others, kind of stop there for a second and do little tiny rolls, because that's the place where you really need to break up the fascia. And then bring yourself back through the center. You can go ahead and release your foot. We're going to try the other side. So left crosses over, hand goes to ankle, and just stop for a second and just continue to work the glute max. Eventually rolling to the side a little bit, getting the glute med, oh yeah, right through there. That's when the spots I always feel it more. Put a little bit more weight on it. Good, then bring yourself back to center, release your ankle, both feet on the floor. Lift yourself up, just push your foam roller down a little bit and sit on the floor. We're going to move on to the hamstrings. So for the hamstrings, I want you to start with the foam roller right behind your legs, above your knees, and feet are off the floor. Can't really see my feet, but you're going to lift yourself up. So lift your hips up, and you're just going to roll. And the spot we're looking at is from just above the knee, so try not to go behind the knee, to just below your glutes. And for most of us, even though we have pretty tight hamstrings, we don't always feel that they are particularly sore when we do this. So if you're not feeling a whole lot, you need a little bit more. I always need a little bit more. Cross your right leg over your left. So you're putting a little bit more weight on. A little bit more body weight. Yeah, I feel it a little bit more. And then maybe roll to the side just a little bit. Not quite to the side of your leg. Still working the hamstrings. And then maybe turn to the other side a little bit and get a little bit kind of going towards inner thigh. Just small moves. And then go ahead and release it. You're going to switch ankles. If your foam roller moves around on you, need to readjust, just readjust. Pick your hips up. Just above the knee to just before the glutes. And then maybe a little tiny turn to the outside. And a little turn to the inside, making sure we get the muscle from all different angles. Bring yourself back to center, uncross your ankles, you can sit your hips back. All right, we've got one more exercise. We're going to lift ourselves up. We're going to work our calves. So what I want you to do is put the foam roller just behind your calves, above your ankles. And again, you're going to lift yourself up and you're going to roll. So from just above the ankles to just below the knees. And this is a place where a lot of us kind of start to feel it. For most people, your calves are much tighter than you think they are. And for most people, this is good enough right here. If you don't quite feel it, you want a little bit more, cross your right over your left. Oh yeah, right there. And if you find that spot, just kind of hang out there, little tiny movements. Again, maybe rolling, getting a little bit of the calf from the outside. And a little bit of the calf from the inside. Yikes. Some of these things, like, it hurts so good. Then go ahead, switch your ankles. You can put your hips down for a second, switch your ankles. Again, you don't have to cross your ankles. Might be something that you work up to. Or maybe not. Maybe you'll never be so tight that you need to do one side and then the other. All right, and then sit yourself back down. Whew. All right, so we've gotten the backs of the legs. We're going to work, continue the back of the body, and we're going to work your back. So what I want you to do is take your foam roller, I'm going to swing mine around, move down a little bit, and you're going to put it right in the middle of your back. And that's as low as you're going to go, is the middle of the back. All right, my feet are on the floor. I'm going to take my hands to my head, behind my head, like I was relaxing, just to kind of give my head a little bit of support. And you're going to lift your hips, and you're going to roll from mid-back to upper back. And then for my swimmers out there, we're going to get the lats a little bit. So a little bit of rotation to the side. And come back into center, a little rotation to the other side. From the low ribs right up through to just under your armpit. Oh. And then come back into the center, hips down, and roll yourself up. All right, so we're going to start to go on to the front side of the body. We're going to do our calves next. Not our calves, our quads. So you're going to bring yourself around, and you're going to lie on the foam roller, lay on the foam roller, both legs. All right, turn so you can see. Both legs, both quads go on the front foam roller, on your forearms, and you're just going to roll the whole length from the top of the quad to just above the knee. And while we don't feel a lot of soreness usually when we foam roll our hamstrings, most of us certainly feel it in the quads. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work in a little bit of adductor. So what I want to do is just bend your knee. Try to keep the knee below the foam roller. Then bring it back into the center. Bring the other leg up. I just bend it a little bit. So I'm getting kind of upper quad, a little bit of inner thigh at the same time, multitasking. And then just to make sure we got everything for both directions, a little bit of the outside of the quad, not completely the side of the leg, just a little bit on the other side. Then bring yourself back into center. While we're here, let's do a little IT work. IT bands get really, really tight. And you guys, whenever any muscle gets really tight, what happens is it pulls on the muscles around it. So like if your glutes are really, really tight, they pull on your back and they pull on your hamstrings, causing pain and tightness there. If your IT band is really, really tight, it pulls on your knee, it pulls on your hip. So that's why it's really important to take some time to foam roll these sections out. And also, when you foam roll, you're increasing the circulation through the muscle, the blood flow, which is going to speed up your recovery. So the outside of my right leg is on the foam roller. I just bend my right knee so my left foot is down, still supporting myself on my elbow, and I roll the side of the leg. Again, try not to roll over the hip or the knee. And then you're going to release, flip yourself around to the other side. I'm going to swing around. You can always just flip over. Left side of the left leg goes on, across your right leg over. And little tiny rolls all the way up and down the side of your leg. From just below your hip to just above your knee. All right, bring yourself back around. We've got just a couple of more things we're going to do. These are actually going to be more stretches, but they're going to feel phenomenal. So what you're going to do, this first one is kind of a good one to just lengthen everything out. I want you to bring the foam roller, bring your hands behind, and you're going to sit on the foam roller, but just like kind of on the upper part of your butt, all right? And then what I want you to do is keep your feet on the floor, start to walk your way down. So your elbows are on the ground, all right? Take your legs really long, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna press. You're gonna press into the foam roller, and you're just like literally you're pressing it away, and you're just making your legs nice and long. You can always bring your head down. Bring your head down, that feels much better. And you're just trying to lengthen through your whole body, especially your back. Little space between all the little vertebrae. Good, then you're just gonna roll your knees a little bit, lift your chin, roll yourself back so you're sitting on the floor. Let's work the thoracic spine a little bit. So, what you're going to do, foam roller lengthwise next to you. You're gonna roll onto your side. Bottom leg is long. Top leg comes right over the foam roller, all right? And then you're going to bring yourself down on the floor, open your arm nice and long, and then you're just going to take your arm and you're going to make some little circles, some little half circles, kind of like snow angels. You can always put your hand on your knee, just above your knee, try and encourage yourself to stay in that little bit of a twist. And you may not be able to make contact with the floor with your hand. That's okay. That's okay. All right, bring yourself back up. We're going to do the other side. So you can flip over. I'm going to flip around so you guys can see. Lie next to your foam roller. Bring your knee over it so it's resting right on your adductors, your inner thigh. Bring yourself down, all right? Take your arm out, and right away you should be able to feel that right there. Again, you can always, if your knee pops up, you can just bring your hand right to it to encourage it to stay down a little bit more, and then just make some snow angels. I have a piece of furniture in my way. Ideally, you'd want to go up as far as you can, and then back down. All right, roll yourself on, over, and up. We have just one more to do. This is to open up through the front of your body. If you're spending a lot, like me, spending a lot of time like this over phones and computers and aero bars, we need to open that back up. So you're going to bring the foam roller, again vertical, and you're going to sit on it. And you want to have the best that you can. I know some of us are taller than others. Your lower half, your lower back, and your head on it. Most importantly, your head. All right, don't let your head hang off. Both feet are on the floor. And just take a second and feel your shoulder blades just kind of like wrapping around your foam roller. See if you can get it right between your scapula, right where the muscles that you would squeeze if you're doing like a row. And if your ponytail's in the way, just get it out of the way. I know, the problems we have. Take your arms out nice and long, continue to stay relaxed. And then bring your arms up, and then open them up. Reach up, and open. Every time you open, take a second, don't be in a hurry, and try to relax. Because the important part of this is not the reach. The important part is the open. And that is it. Use your hands to push yourself back up. All right, that was your foam roll and release for today. Let me know how that works for you, and we'll do it again soon. Bye.